morning. Morning, good morning, good morning. Back on. I'm doing it from StreamYard mobile. Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CJ, aka the High Value, checking in once again back with another live for you. It is a cold, brisk morning, Michigan. And every time I come back home on vacation, it just makes me sicker and sicker. You ready to go? Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody's having a great day. Hopefully you all are doing well. I just wanted to share my very interesting yet eerie work experience last night. Traffic crazy. Traffic is crazy. Good morning to everybody who's tuning in live. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night to the people who are watching the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, man. I'm going home. Oh, now I want to click. Now I want to click. All right, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen. So last night at work was pretty interesting. I had a patient other night. Well, I've had the same, set for the last 2 nights in a row, and I had a patient who was pretty sick, and the patient was very like she was a very very nice lady. But yesterday she was sick, but she wasn't bad. Like my patient had a very low blood pressure. She was on fluids to try to get the blood pressure up, and she went through like 4 bags of fluids, and the pressure really wasn't her blood pressure really wasn't going back up. I mean, it went up slightly, but she had Midodrine, PRN, and the doctor had just ordered the 4 bags of fluid to be administered through the IV, and that was that. So after she had took the medication, what up, though? What up, though? Appreciate you, CJ. Been watching your videos for a while now out here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. I'm very jealous of y'all, Ohio, because y'all are very close. Yet we don't have uh we don't have a Waffle House. But shout out to Ohio. Ohio's in the building. Appreciate you for being here this morning. I know it's early, but like I was saying, I had a patient last night. I mean, well, the previous night that I had her, the day before yesterday, we were trying to get her blood pressure elevated, and she was talking. She was in pretty good spirit. So I had found out what her diagnosis was. Her diagnosis was she had a valve leak. My patient had a valve leak, and it was pretty serious. So fast forward to last night. Patient wasn't doing that great. So it was pretty much comfort measure. Once the comfort measures had, finally got the order set, everything like that, we had put place, and the patient asked me for pain medication. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. This is the part of my job that I have a love-hate relationship with this part of my job because when you, as a nurse, you are there for people in their most vulnerable, and I do mean vulnerable. They are absolutely dependent on you to be whatever you need them to be at that time, whether it's a friend, whether it's a listening ear, whether it's just somebody that's just there. And sometimes you can tell when a patient is about to expire. Sometimes you can't. Now, I had a feeling, but I just wasn't sure it was going to happen the way that it did. So I get the patient the pain medication, and hold on, let me slow down, because I was gonna make a point about being vulnerable, a patient being vulnerable. That's the part of my job I take really serious because I remember back in school they would tell us, like, we would have test questions about if you have a patient that's dying, and they would ask us questions like, what do you say to the patient if they ask you, is it any, am I gonna be okay? You know, it's different when you answering a question like that on a test versus real life. I'm telling you now, if you've never been in that situation before, it's a whole different ball game. Those test questions, those NCLEX questions, all that kind of stuff, that stuff you deal with in nursing school, that death and dying portion, uh, you can take from that. I guess you can learn something from it, but until you actually confront those actual situations, you, it's hard to answer questions like that because what do you say to somebody? And see, this is where the empathy part comes in. And so other people say, "Oh, CJ, well, you just in it for the money." No, if I was just in it for the money, I couldn't do that part of the job. I don't get paid enough for that part. You know what kind of mental strain that has on you as a person, and then like to see that kind of stuff often. You have to be a robot to just be that. You know what I'm saying? To be on that type of time. So no, absolutely not. But anyway, it's hard to say what you gonna do until you actually face with that situation. You dig what I'm saying? So the patient, back. Okay. You serious? All right. So, all right, cool, we back. But where was I? Get wild. But oh, okay, all right. So that's why I be telling. So for those of you who are just coming in, I had a patient that I was taking care of for the last 2 nights, and you know, the patient was doing decent last night, but she wasn't doing so good 2 nights before last night. The night before last, she was doing okay. Like last night, it wasn't looking good. So I was talking about when you address with those patients, they teach you in school about how to handle death and dying. And when patients ask you questions like, "Oh, well, what do you do?" Like the question will be like, "How do you handle it when a patient asks you, like, am I going to be okay?" or something like that. You never get it, and they tell you to give some old generic answer. I forgot what the answer usually is, but I call it that's cap to me. That's BS because again, until you are faced with that situation, it's crazy, and that's what I'm about to get into. So I gave the patient the Tylenol while we were waiting on the morphine to come from the pharmacy. Now, since it was taking so long and the lady was complaining about pain, uh, we got it out the Pyxis, but it'd be taking so long for like an off the pull to come through. And that's the one thing I can't stand about that whole system, that whole process. But anyway, I go in there to check on my patient, and the patient says to me, "This will probably be with me to the day I die." She said, "I know I'm dying. There's no hope." I was like, "What?" Now I'm usually not speechless. I'm usually pretty good with my mouthpiece. I usually know what to say in a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? I'm really good with my words. That was the first time as a nurse in my career where I was left absolutely speechless. I did not know what to say. All that stuff in school that they tell you to say, that goes right out the window, my boy. When you in a real life situation, I had no idea what to say. Because what do you say to them? What do you say to a person that says that to you and they know? But here's the most eerie part. The patient predicted when they were going to pass away and was accurate. That blew my mind. I ain't gonna cap, and it was actually kind of spooky. Patient was like, "I'll be going." So, after my mind is blown from saying what she said, uh, I'm just like, well, I'm gonna do what I can to make sure you are as comfortable as possible. If you need me to stay in here with you, I can stay in here with you. If you need me to get you something like applesauce or some water or whatever you need, I'm here for you. And she was just like, no, you're doing a good job. I know you have other patients to tend to. Go finish your rounding and all that kind of stuff. Very cool. Very cool. So I said, okay, I'll make sure she's good, and I go continue my rounds on other patients. And now I'm on some looking at my clock type stuff because I'm like, when you got a patient that's about to expire and everything like that, sometimes you it's like I wasn't sure. You did, like, I was not sure. Some days when a patient gonna expire on your shift or not. Some days you don't. And with this one, I wasn't really sure, but she had said like she literally told me this out her mouth. She was like, in an hour, I'm gonna be gone. This was crazy. So I go out, continue to do my rounds, whatever. I did my rounds. That took me about 10 or 15 minutes. So I start going back and doing my chart. I do my chart and I get a text from Messina. This had to be about 45 minutes later. 45 to 50 minutes later, I get a text. No pulse. I said, but I'm like, what do you mean no pulse? So I'm like, I know she's not talking about patient that I was just thinking, no pulse. She was a DNR, you know what I'm saying? Comfort care, all that stuff. I'm saying, you got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. So, and we just followed the protocol. We called the family. I think I might do a video on that too, like a separate video on like the handle situation. But like we called the family, let the family know this about an incident or the situation that had taken place. The doctor was notified that we called the funeral home, and that was that. That was that. You know what I'm saying? It was just so crazy to me, very eerie to me. She was like, I'm gonna be gone an hour, and then like an hour she was gone. Like literally, it did her own death when she was, and then she goes, well, beforehand she goes, oh, and I'm just like, I was literally like speechless. I had no clue what to say. I'm like, who says that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who really says that? I could not believe. I could not believe it. I mean, obviously, like but it's just like I've never had a patient say it's no hope. And this lady was not. She was not A&O times one. She was not confused. She was not demented. She was in her right mind. She was A&O times four. She knew what was going on, what had took place, what was taking place, what was wrong. And I be thinking like, man, some people just be ready to go. Some patients just be ready to go. They just be ready to go. And as somebody, who's as young as I am, I be thinking like, and in my head, I be like, man, I don't ever, and Lord, I ain't trying to go no time soon. But I ain't trying to, I never could say to myself, like, right now, like, I'm ready to go. I just couldn't imagine myself saying that. So you really got to be a place in your head, and I guess some of those people, they just feel like, they probably be in so much pain. They just, they just be ready to go. Or then you have some people that don't be in no pain at all. They just be older. They done had a great life, a fulfilled life. They had to do. And then they like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go right now. You know what I'm saying? What's the deal, Walter? Good morning. They be like, they be like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to check out. Like it was this one lady that I had one time. She was 109 years old, and she was upset she was still alive. Literally upset that. Wow, you know what I'm saying? Like 109, but she was like, she wasn't, she wasn't confused. She wasn't demented. She was like A&O times three. Did crossword puzzles every day. And she did, walked around and all that kind of stuff. For a person that's 109 years old and still getting around, man, yeah, I think that might have been my oldest patient, 100 so far. But to be walking around, and I don't know if this patient's still living or not, but to be walking around and to be talking and having full conversations and doing crossword puzzles, like that was amazing to me. And she was like, "I'm ready to go." Like I don't know what the deal is, but I'm ready to go. I'm going to tell you in that aspect, but just probably got to be in a place mentally, like that's why I be saying like That's why I be stressing out to not stressing out, but that's why I be trying to stress nurses the importance of living a full, productive, fulfilling life, because you don't want to be 90 something, 100 years old and just be miserable on your deathbed. And like you can either be ready to go for a few reasons, like you be ready to go because you old, seeing your kids grow up, your grandkids is growing and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Life was wonderful, and you just might be in that mind state where you just ready to check out. You know what I'm saying? I done did everything I wanted to do, and then it's the other side, like you hate life, you don't want to do nothing, like you just hate to wake up every morning and everything like that, and you just ready to be about it. My hospice nurse, no, I'm not a hospice nurse. That's too much stuff. I just, you know, I mean, 2020 was a wild one because we saw more death. Like nurses see more death than the average person anyway. So, but like 2020 was on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people just dying left and right, and it's crazy because I don't think I've never talked about it, and I don't think it really affected me in no way. But just to see that much death and see people dying like that, and it's wild because just literally 3 years ago, nurses were the biggest heroes on the planet. 3 years later, they trying to cap nurse pay. Like this is why. Like this is what this. That's it. That's the stuff that gets to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be like, I'm focused on freedom now. I'm not. My thing is not to work. My whole goal is not to be working for nobody else because it's a game. Like I said, if you want to take it to that, as far as you want to take it to nursing, that's a wonderful thing. It's not wrong with that. It's just for me. It's all about freedom now. I can say, recommend working while in nursing. Do I recommend it? No. I mean, but sometimes you ain't got that option. Sometimes you have to work. Hindsight, they say hindsight is 2020. I mean, I don't have no regrets when I went to, when I did my LPN. I worked because I was still trying to be out here in the street. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Black speaks. Say we the demons. What that mean? I ain't no demon. I ain't no demon. I'm a child of God. I don't know what you mean we the demons. Sir, I was that energy all day. Getting locked up. Yeah, okay, in that aspect. Yeah, that's getting that locked up left and right. Yeah, that's wild, bro. Went from the heroes to the villains. Cap and nurse pay. And you know what's wild about the whole cap and nurse pay thing? Uh, yeah, that's facts. Now we the bad guys. That's facts. But the wild thing about cap and nurse pay? The people who want to cap nurse pay, not even nurses. Half of them not even in the medical field. That's the crazy part. But we was just heroes. We was the one going up and in and out these facilities and everything like that, taking care of your dying relative, being the last thing that they saw before they took their last breath, trying to comfort them in a time of need. So a person who ain't never been in that situation, don't tell me what you think I should be paid. You have no right to do that. You ain't seen what I seen. You ain't been through what I've been through. You don't know what it's like to hold a patient hand as they take their last breath and they dying, knowing that they about to die, knowing that there's no hope. You don't know what it's like to be on the phone have a phone held up to a relative. To a patient, had a relative on FaceTime watching them die. While you the only thing in between, you the only link of communication between a patient and a family member. That's like, feel me? So how dare you try to cap a nurse's pay, a travel nurse's pay or whatever, when it's not even enough. Don't If you wasn't in that, you don't know. It's a lot of nurses right now still traumatized. I remember when that stuff popped off. I had nurses. It was literally nurses like crying, thinking they was about to die. A lot of nurses died in 2020. Feel me? A lot of them died. A lot of them passed away from the pandemic. Like for real, for real. That shit was scary because nobody knew. But it's like, and it's crazy though, because when I was at work, I wasn't. That's the wild part. That is the wild part. And see, it's stuff like that that will turn a person cold. Because when a person can put their life on the line for you, your family member, the same people that's trying to cap nurses pay, the politicians and all them, when they can put their life on the line for your family member, on the line as a nurse, but endangering the nurses' family members because you going out there. I had a chick, my chick was at home. My chick got a compromised immune system. So me going out there dealing with patients that got a virus that don't nobody know nothing about, and then I'm coming home to my woman who know I'm a nurse with a compromised immune system. Everybody in danger. I can't see my grandparents. My grandparents is older. You know what I'm saying? My mama, my dad. You know what I'm saying? Diabetics. You don't want to. You like that's the stuff I be talking about. So Florida nurses, limited resources, straight head. Yeah, that's a fact. So like, you know, I know this kind of turned into something else. I was trying to talk about the patient dying, but like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think I think that would be a good show topic. Get nurses that fought that thing, fought that work, to put their cape on during the pandemic, and had these conversations because a lot of nurses probably have to talk about how they felt. And it's crazy because a lot of us really just took that on the chin and ain't said nothing else about it. It was after a while, after like the first 2 weeks, it was normal life to us because we had to deal with it. We had to deal with it. But if you wasn't in the medical field during 2020, I I got my license in 2019, literally. What is it? May. Got it in May 2019. July, August, September, October. 9 months before, really 8 months before the pandemic really popped off. You dig what I'm saying? 8 months before the pandemic popped off. And then for the nurses that graduated in 2020, became nurses in 2020, your first taste of the game is the pandemic. Oh my God. But I was a baby. I'm still considered a baby nurse to a lot of nurses. They say you ain't really a seasoned nurse till you like 5, 6 years in. That's what I've heard. But I was like, if I'm a baby nurse now, I was like out the womb, infant nurse. You dig what I'm saying? At that time, how many years of nursing? Man, I don't know, bro. I keep telling y'all. I said the moment I start making $5,000 a month off my business and what I love to do, I'm done. I ain't gonna cap. So, like I'll always have my license, and maybe I'll be involved in nursing in some other form or fashion. But as far as like working at the bedside, it's a wrap. That's why I be wanting my travel gloves and pop up. Like, as soon as I make 5,000 a month of straight what I love to do, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Well, I'll say it really will be a wrap at 9,000 a month off what I really. If I make six figures a year off my passion for real. Like, I'm definitely done that. I always I always keep that license on. Like, I definitely won't let it lapse. I'll tell you that much. Even when I'm retired, I still won't let it lapse. I'll tell you that much. No, like if you watch broadcast, leave in the comments how did 2020 affect you as a healthcare worker, right? You were a nurse, doctor, CNA, whatever, social worker, whatever you did, the medical. How did that affect you? I really want to know because I want to know the real. Because I know y'all wouldn't. Because at first nobody knew. Because you had heard about it on the news and everything like that. But you just thinking it's some bird flu or it's just something that's gonna be here today, gone tomorrow, just like every other. But no, C19 was like, oh no, thought I was feeling it. Big, that's how it came through like that. Real, like it just came through. Took no offense. A lot of people with it. It was just something that had never been seen before. Now a lot of nurses ate though. After the initial shock wore off and the adaptation, being able to adapt to it, a lot of nurses was out here eating. I ain't gonna cap. During the pandemic is when I did the most traveling vacation I had ever done. Niggas was out here eating during the pandemic. I ain't gonna even cap. Was eating. You was getting pretty much everything you wanted as a nurse. For real. Travel contracts was good. Local contracts was good. It was a nice moment in time. I knew it wasn't gonna last forever. And I think that's crazy that a lot of nurses thought this was going to last forever. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was wild. That was a wild time. Got COVID on my job. They gave it to you. It was horrible. I never want to work in a hospital or clinic. Yeah, absolutely. That shit was terrible. Because nobody knew nothing. And the first time I caught it, I was like, man, that junk hit me like a ton of bricks. Like that day. I feel like I know when the virus exactly hit my body because the day I got sick, like I felt that in my legs, bro. My legs hurt so bad. I had never felt pain in my legs like this before. My legs hurt so bad in the middle of the job. Like I was in the middle of my shift when COVID first hit me, and my legs had hurt so bad. I'm like, what the hell? But I didn't think it was COVID. And then I had spiked the temperature. I had spiked the temperature at work. I'm like, nah, something gotta be wrong. But I made it through the shift. And then I remember because I was going to pick up food for uh for my girl and myself. And I was feeling like garbage. I get home, I bring the food in the house. Couch. My girl like, yeah, you don't look too good. So she took my temperature. I think my temperature was like 90, 99, 100 or something. I don't know. It was like either 99 or 100, something like that. So, she got me together and everything like that. She made her little fortress in her room or in our room, but I was out in the living room and everything like that. But that was wild though. That was crazy. Let me see. Worked the entire 12 months of the year. I don't. Well, I'm about to train. I'm trying. My goal is to not work 12 months out the year. I would like to work 6 months out the year, honestly, and the other 6 months travel on vacation. That's really how I'm trying to rock. Like around September-ish, maybe October, like definitely wintertime. I would like to be gone all of the winter. And even if I'm working in a warmer state. So like, you know, working in like Florida or something like that. Like these dry. But even working in like Florida while it's cold here. Saying so that's gonna be the next thing I'm focused on getting my Texas, Houston. I mean my Texas, my Florida, my Alabama license. Because I got family and my grandparents got a house in Alabama. So if I ever need to just chill there, I can just go there because it's there for the family. For the winter time, don't nobody be. So I said I'm about to use pandemic pay. Yep. Muscle ache shit, it was terrible. Nah, she is social work. She has her social work degree. But at the time when she caught it, she wasn't a social worker then. She was working at the hospital. Yeah, so I think I'm a oh yeah, for sure. So like wintertime, I'm just really on some I'm cool on Michigan in the winter for real, for real. Only time I might do another winter is if I go to school. Like if I go back to school either this year or next year. But I probably won't go back to next year. Then my mind will be all the way right. I'm dropping cash on school payments and everything like that. Good. Because I'm about convenience. I'm at the point now, and I'm talking like I've been a nurse for 35, 40 years, but I'm just at the point in my career and at the point in my life where it's more about convenience. Like, yeah, you got to put in the work, we work hard and all that kind of stuff, but everything is about convenience at this point. And what's up to all those who have joined in on the live? Hit my like button. And for those of you who are just getting to the party, quick recap. Had a patient last night. Well, actually, the last 2 days. Day before yesterday, she wasn't doing well. Low blood pressure. So we were trying to get that blood pressure elevated. Went through 4 bags of fluid. Got it slightly raised, but not too much. But she was in decent condition. Fast forward to last night, patient was not doing well at all. Rapid breathing, low blood pressure. Comes to find out, patient had heart failure, came in our past. But the crazy part of all this, the patient told me exactly when she was going to pass away. And also before she passed away, she said that um, there's no hope. And she said no. She said I'm dying. And there's no hope. And that's like the first time where I was like, I didn't know what to say. And I usually always know what to say. You know what I'm saying? It usually always come out. It was never a time where I was just like not speechless. Like I was like speechless. I don't know why. Because I feel like I've seen worse death than that. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason I was just I guess because nobody ever put it to me like that though. So yeah. So she told me I'll be gone within an hour. She was like, go do your round, once I got it comfortable and everything like that. And she was like, I'll be gone in an hour. I'm like, I like what do you say to that? Because you don't know if they're gonna be gone in an hour. So I did my rounds. That took me about 20 minutes. I go chart for about 45. My CNA come to me. She let me know that, that patient had no pulse. I'm like, stop, you cat. You playing with me. She's like, yeah, no pulse. I had just got out that lady's room. So it's just like she knew when she was about to die. And that was the craziest thing to me. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And then some people, because she had seen her family that day and everything like that. And sometimes people they say people hold on, and all that kind of stuff. I know, yeah, those was heavy. Yeah, they. I'm like, what? Because what do you say? What do you say? Like, and then like I said, I was saying like in nursing school, they'll tell you like you get questions about you know death and dying and all that kind of stuff, and then like they'll give you test questions about like if a patient says that am I gonna be okay? How do you respond? and they give you this whole generic answer to say and everything like that. But all that shit go out the window when that's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like all that, but until you've been in that situation for real, all that what they taught you in nursing school when it comes to dealing with patient death and all that kind of stuff, saying that. Because what do you say? Do you say it's no hope? So once I finally figured out what to say, I was just like, I'm gonna make sure you are comfortable as possible. Is there anything you need? That was the only thing I could say. I didn't know what else to say. So what do you say? Because I'm telling you now, and see, this is why I can't. This is why I couldn't work in peds with children. It's different when you work with the geriatric population because they older and everything like that. But children, I would like I no, absolutely, I would come home depressed every day. That's why I say you got to be a special person to be able to work with children, especially terminally ill kids. No, sir, I couldn't do it. It's not for me. It is not for me. I could not do it. I'm not built for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a special person to work with terminally ill kids and kids on hospice, children on hospice. You know what I'm saying? Because what you gonna say when they ask you, it's gonna be all right? Is it gonna be all right? What you gonna say to that? I, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. I hope I don't ever have to be in that situation. To tell something like to not know what to say. Because I'm telling you, all that stuff they tell you in the books, that shit, if you got a heart, that shit goes out the window, my boy. You know what I'm saying? That goes out the window. That's why I say, like, shout out to all the hospice nurses. I think I could. I tell you what, I can work in geriatric hospice before I can work in pediatric or children's hospital. I couldn't do children's. I couldn't do it. That's the wildest thing on the planet. Oh, sir. But I could do the jury. I could, if I really wanted, if I had to, like I could do that, but I don't want to. I would prefer not to. Psychology is rough. I bet it is. I'd be a special person. Yeah. See that every day. Absolutely. Yeah, or to be able to, like, yeah, to be the last thing a person sees. And not only to be the last thing that a patient sees before they die, you got to be the one to communicate to the family that they died, and then you got to deal with. You got to. So not only do you got to handle the patient's death, you got to handle the emotion of the family. That's another aspect of it. That's another thing they don't. I mean, they talk about it in nursing school, but that book can't prepare you for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do? Like, like, how do you handle it? I had a patient that when assisted living that passed away, and I had her son. Her son was really cool. Always bought the staff food, everything like that. Mom was in her 90s, and she had passed away, and I had to make the call. I told him. He got there. He got to the facility, and he was cool walking in, but I knew it was in him. I knew it was gonna come out. I'm talking about because it was like a door we had to go in. It was a door we had to go in to get into the part that I was at, in the memory care part. You got to scan in. As soon as we hit the door, he lost. I'm talking about lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, lost it. And he just grabbed me, hugged me, and it's just like, what do you do? Only thing you can do is console. That's what I'm saying. Like, people be really sleeping on the role of a nurse, bro. They just took a whole bunch of positions and rolled it into one and called it nurse. Because you the advocate, you the healer, you the friend, you the therapist, you the family consoler, you the problem solver, you the cook, you the chef, you just everything rolled up into one. And people be really sleeping on that. And I know every nurse is not good. You got some really bad nurses out here, but people really be sleeping on the good one. The patient that passed, like I think like 89. I think like 89. Uh, Nursing's another world for Europeans. I got in 8 months ago and I loved it. Pay is good as well. You gain experience working in the ICU. That's what's up for sure. Dialysis nurse. Yeah, that's good. I heard about that. I had once while I was in school. I had knew a person that worked in dialysis, and that was something that I thought to go into. My dad is a biomed engineer, and he built dialysis machines for like the hospitals around the state. So dialysis nursing was always kind of something I actually thought about doing, especially once I had got my RN. Uh, that's what's up. I'm glad you're getting that experience, getting that bread, getting that paper. But yeah, so that's why I say like know what you're getting into. Like I be trying to do my best to be transparent and tell y'all what y'all gonna be dealing with when y'all get into the game. You are a person that is very empathetic. You better get that in check right now. When I say empathetic, somebody that you feel other people's emotions, you better get that in check right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really an emotional person, but I'm very empathetic. I can feel people's emotions. You know what I'm saying? So like, and sometimes it can be overwhelming to feel other people's emotions like that. And so just gotta prepare yourself. No school can prepare you for what you want to experience. So, no school. That's why I say like I believe 80% of nursing should be on in the field, so you can get a real taste of what you can get into being out there on the field. 80% of nursing school should be clinical. And 20%, get your little classroom time and everything like that. But a lot of that stuff is not real. It's perfect world stuff. The NCLEX is, I mean, I haven't taken the NCLEX in a while, but the NCLEX is like in a perfect world. A lot of NCLEX instructors will tell you that. School is just like perfect scenario. Ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing perfect in nursing, bro. It don't work like that. That ain't how life works. And that's why I said like the whole curriculum for nursing school need to be thought over. They need to figure out something else because that ain't it. That is not it. Yeah. I can imagine like with the females, a lot of girls they just emotional by nature. So I can imagine what they be feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that really care. I can imagine what they be feeling on a daily basis. That's gotta be a roller coaster ride for them. And just an already emotional creature dealing with all the emotions on top of that, dying, trauma, constantly needing you, calling your name all day. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine what that's like for a woman. It don't bother. It really don't bother me. It's just like I said, the only part of my job that I really cannot stand, I hate doing is when you gotta tell the family that they family member passed. I mean, I know it's a part of the job, and I don't mind doing it. And I know I have to do it. I really don't like to, because you never know what kind of reaction you get. Honestly, because a couple of times I've called patient family members, say your family member has passed away. They'd be like, "Oh, all right," click, and that be like the reality of it. Like you'll be like, "Yeah," like it's crazy. I'll be like, "Yeah, such and such passed away last night." Oh, okay, all right, thanks for telling me. And then you have people that absolutely lose it over the phone. So you just never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get. Like they'll be like, "Oh, okay," and not care at all. Like that's the wild part to me. That'd be the wildest one. That'd be the wildest thing. Like when they just they don't be caring. And then like I don't know, man. Then you get patients that when a family member died, they ain't been up to see them in 15 years since they've been in the facility. As soon as they die, now they want to come up in there. How could y'all do this? And blah blah blah. And oh, mama this and mama that. And I'm like, I've never seen you. I've been with this lady a whole year. And I've never heard of you. I've never seen you. You've never come up. You ain't been to a care conference. You ain't done nothing. So what is you talking about? Who did this? And I need names and blah blah blah. I said, then you'll be like, man, she was on hospice. You don't even know. Because you ain't been here. Talking about somebody that murked your family member. Nah. They've been on hospice the last year, man. I'm telling you, like, that's the stuff you gotta deal with. People be thinking I'm joking when I tell people who not in the medical field, like, what you gotta go through. People are crazy, man, especially family members. I'm gonna do a whole video about that. But you'll have people that you ain't. I worked in Lansing for a year, almost 2 years on a travel contract. And I was literally working with this man for a year and a half. He was on hospice. He was on hospice the whole time I was there. Not one, I think one time his niece came up there and seen him out of the whole year and a half I was there. One time. But boy, when he died, that's why I say he must have had some money or something. Because when he died, oh, oh, daddy. I'm talking about, and you know us, black folks making a damn scene sometimes. I'm talking about everybody, a whole up there. Who did this to my daddy? Blah blah blah. Man, your father has been terminally ill for a while. Been on hospice care for the last 6 or 7 months. What are you talking? Nobody did nothing to your father. He just passed away due to his disease process. Somebody did this. What y'all been feeding him? Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, it be like that. Like I have seen some, if you ever wanted, I'm talking about if TV shows ever got desperate. I'm talking about really got desperate, and for some way could bypass HIPAA laws. You want to see some entertaining stuff? Get them cameras in a nursing home. Do a nursing home reality show. Or I tell you, that will be the number one. That will be the number one show on the planet. That will be the number one show on the planet because people really don't be understanding like what the real business is. I'm talking about just passing out. You know how we do. Gotta on the flow. You know what I'm saying? That, and I hate to say it, but it be like that with us. White people when their family members die, they be they be sad, crying and shit, but don't really be. Negroes? Oh no, we gonna put on a show. Negroes gonna put on a show when they family member die, and especially when they ain't been up there in 15, 20 years. Oh, you talking about some action? You finna see it all. The Oscar goes to your family member who's been absent. I'm telling you, that lady came up there. I didn't know. Oh, but check this out though. The lady who came up there and did all that fussing to the guy in Lansing was his ex-wife. His ex-wife, whom he used to tell us all the time that she was a cheater. And she was the reason he was in the nursing home in the first place. So she came up there talking about some, oh, ah, all that. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Like that, I done seen some stuff working in these nursing homes. All passed out. Ah, ah, daddy! Holding on to the body. The body ice cold. You grabbing the body like this and stuff like that. The scene of the did postmortem care and cleaned them up, got them looking all nice. You messing up the sheets and everything like that. Put your old makeup on the sheets, getting the makeup on the thing. Oh my God! One time, so you know the Undertaker come get the resident and take them to the morgue or take them to the funeral home. On everything I love. It was this one time I was working agency in the hood, and we had to we had to do the process because the patient had passed away. So the Undertaker get there and everything like that. He comes in, he got the stretcher and all that kind of stuff. The family members is in the room soon, and again, I don't know if they were if they had been there and everything like that, for this patient or whatever. I don't know the history because I was just there as agency. But when they put him on like they was coming out and coming out the room, I see one of the girls flying. She running. She runs on top of the body, like trying to hug the body. Oh, daddy, no! Daddy, no! I'm talking about screaming. And like I said, you never know how people gonna react to death. I get that part when they see their family members. And I guess as an Undertaker, maybe that's something that they train for. But how can you prepare for something like that? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about she on the thing. I'm thinking if this man's body flip off this stretcher and he just start rolling, it's gonna be a bigger issue. I'm like, what the bro? I'm telling you, dog. Like, I done seen some stuff. And if you a nurse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I done seen some stuff. I ain't never, I don't know. That's how we do though. That's how we react to death. And I love my people. So don't talk about it too bad. Oh, we be doing it most of the time. But at the same time, I understand, shoot, especially if that's somebody you were close to. It's just the ones that who I know good and well you don't care about the patient. We call you when something go wrong. You don't answer the phone, but then you want to come on there and put on an Oscar award winning performance when they pass away. Like, come on, doing the most. Oh, 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 daddy! I can't believe my daddy. Like, man, please knock it off. Worked as a hospice nurse for 4 years, and I've seen some of the craziest people. One lady started giving her grandmother mouth to mouth after she had passed. Oh my God. That's wild in a mug. Yeah, but I 100% believe that. I don't put it past them. Wake up! Wake up! Hitting them all in the face. The man face. Nothing happening. Wake up! Like, what the? Hit him with that Jesse Lee. What the? Showing out. I'm sorry, black folks. We show out. Now, I don't know about the mouth to mouth thing. I think that might be more like Caucasian lane, but I don't. I don't think we doing. Black people. We don't really like death like that. You know, we don't like touching dead bodies and stuff like that. I don't know if we doing mouth to mouth. That lady only came to see her but once a year. Sad. Yeah, we don't. I don't know about that one. Yeah, that's a little wild for me. That is a little wild for me. Yeah, that's very sad though. That ain't right. Now I've been on live for an hour. This traffic's so bad here in Michigan. It's no way it should have took me an hour to get home. It's no reason it should have took me an hour to get home. Crazy. But y'all, I'm about to get off this live. I'm about to go in the house and go to bed. I got a agency shift tonight. Agency shift. Back on agency gang. The clock is winding down on my staff job. That's for darn sure. Um, yeah, so I'm just getting back used to this agency life again. I gotta work tonight. And with this agency, if they cancel you, they still pay you. They got if they cancel you a day before, you still get paid. They gotta cancel you up to 48 hours in advance. And like how this agency work, you gotta sign. They make the facility sign contracts to where you cannot send agency staff home. You can't send them home. You got to send your staff home before you send us home. That's wild to me though. That's crazy. Because it's like at that point, why would I sign up to be staff? You know what I'm saying? Why would I sign up to be staff at that point? Love the channel, CJ. Take care. Thank you, Bella Mommy. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my CJ Kyle's channel too. Because I'm gonna be doing like a lot of content that's different over there. We had 110 subscribers over there. Make sure you on live a lot. I try to be on live. I think I'm gonna start going live on, on my ride to work and ride home. But yeah, and y'all go subscribe to the Traveling Heartbeats too. Traveling Heartbeats is my travel channel with my girl. I got two new vlogs over there. We was on our cruise, the Traveling Heartbeats. Didi, if you still in the chat, can you post the link up there? But yeah, so y'all, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Y'all see I've been dropping videos like crazy. I've been dropping them. Q3, Q3, 3 times. Wait, no, Q8H. That's how I've been dropping them joints every 8 hours. 7, 3, and 11. I've been dropping like crazy. Y'all go support them joints. Y'all go support them joints. Like, run them views up. Hit them like buttons. Leave them comments. Let's run them bad boys up. I've been dropping every 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? So mess with a player. I ain't got no editors. It's just me putting in that work. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all being here today. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.